Hello everyone, hope you have a lovely day. So here we have a laptop to fix. Yeah, it has been long since I posted something on the channel, but we didn't stop doing repairs. I'm doing repairs, but I was some kind of busy with the other things. So what do we have today? We have a very different laptop. We have the laptop is coming from two computer repair shops. They tried to check it, but they couldn't fix this laptop. This is a Dell XPS XPS 15 dash 9530 series. That's the model of this Dell laptop. So the story about this laptop, the guy bring the laptop here. He went to two different computer repair shop and they couldn't fix it, and he sent it here. So we have to try to fix this. Can we try? Yeah, the laptop has got all the screws they are missing. Here we have a small pin charging port. Let's see if I can fix this model. I know nothing about this model. I don't have the schematics. I don't have anything. Plug in the power supply. It's taking 0. It's not supposed to be like this. Because even if the laptop is off, we must have around between 1 to 10 milliamps standby current for the E.T.C chip. Okay. And for the 3.3 volts power supply, which is always on, even if the laptop is off. But here is some kind of I can say this can be good news or this can be bad news, because if it's not taking any current, it means that there's no voltage going to the motherboard. Maybe the input MOSFET, the gatekeepers, they are not passing the 19 volts to the motherboard, or the charging port can be faulty. So let's try to power on. Pressing the power on. Here the switch button. It's not responding. The back cover is out. This, yeah, the owner bring it like this. What happened to this heat sink? We don't know. And all the fan are some kind of dusty. DDR3 RAM. We have the battery, but the cells looks like they are swollen inside. This is a fatty battery. Okay. So here we have the charging port. It's coming here, and I can't see where the charging port is going. Let's plug the power supply and check some voltages on the motherboard. Ground from the USB ports, and on the plus of the charging port we do have 19 volts. So the charging port is good. We have some inductors here. I can't see those MOSFETs on serial mode here. Maybe they are on the other side of the motherboard. And here we have some power supply. Checking here. We have a 0.81, like 0 volts. 0.8. So the main power rail is we have 0.8 volts, almost 0 volts. Let's unplug the power supply. Let's go on diode mode. Let's check those capacitors connected on the 19 volts power line. This is not a short. If I put it on ohms, what ohms do we have here? How many ohms? It's not like 0 ohms. Huh? So the main power rail is not shorted, but still we don't have voltage on the motherboard. I think we need to go under microscope and try to check what's going on. Maybe we can see something from this end. Microscope. So what do we have here? Here we have the charging port. That's the charging port here. We have 2 pins on the plus, which is going to those inductors. And here we have the middle pin. We have 3 wires on the plus, 3 wires on the minus, and the charging ID pin. You can see even on the wires, we have 3 red wires. These are connected on the plus, 3 black wires on the minus, and this one is going to the charge ID pin. So we checked on the charging port. We have 19 volts. That means the charging port is good. The next step, we have to see where those here I can't see the MOSFETs here. I can't see anything. What about here? Here we have some coils. And we have those MOSFETs. And this MOSFET looks like it's blown up. Yeah, it is blown up. This MOSFET doesn't look good. I don't know if those are my MOSFETs, but this one doesn't look good. Let's check with the multimeter. Drain to source. This is not beeping. This is beeping. What I want to check if the plus is coming to those MOSFETs. Maybe it's something else. Let's disconnect this cable for the screen. Let's go. I'll put one probe on the plus. Let's disconnect the battery. We don't need the battery at this moment. One probe is connected on the plus. 1, 2. So from the plus is coming here. So this is the first MOSFET. And the second MOSFET is blown up. Let's connect the power supply and check what voltages do we have there. I'm sure on the voltage side we have voltage on one side, but not the other side. Here 19, and here we have like 2.5 volts. So the first MOSFET is cutting down the power. Why? Because we have a blown up second MOSFET. Where's my BQ chip? Where's my BQ chip? 1 second. This looks like one BQ 715. We do have 18.71 on pin number 1. Not on pin number 1. on the last pin, 5, 10, 15, on pin number 20. Pin number 20, that's the V in, and pin number 6, that's the AC detect pin, 2.69. And here we need to check. We must have 6 volts from linear regulator output on this chip. Yeah, we have 6 volts. If I do remember, 6 volts. Yeah, you see 6 volts. So at this moment, I will say the BQ chip is okay. But let's focus. Let's disconnect the power supply. Let's focus on this MOSFET. And I can't even see the number of the MOSFET. What kind of MOSFET is this? But I know these days they are using N-channel MOSFETs. I know for sure these days. Well, those MOSFETs must be similar. MDS 1521. Let's do a small research about this MOSFET. Let's do a small research about this desktop. I want to see this kind of, what kind of MOSFET is this? I want to see what kind of MOSFET is this one. Single N-channel trench MOSFET. Drain, drain, drain. 4 pins, that's the drain. 3 pins source and the gate. This is just an N-channel MOSFET. This is just an N-channel MOSFET. So if this is an N-channel MOSFET, we are good to go. If this is an N-channel MOSFET, let's take down this MOSFET and try to look for replacement. So I'm sure that the reason why the first MOSFET is cutting down the 19 volts, because the second MOSFET was blown up. I can't take down the MOSFET, really? So here, the tracks are still looking fine. Where can I get replacement? Where can I get replacement for this MOSFET? 4423. 4423. Yeah, I'm checking for replacement. Was 4423. No, this is a P channel MOSFET. Let's see this one. I think I found this one, which is almost similar. That's the MOSFET. Our MOSFET is now in place. Cooling the MOSFET. Yeah, we can cool the MOSFET. So let's see. Do you now have a working laptop? I'm curious to see if we have a working laptop here. While it's still hot here. I need just to clean the fans. Fans, they are too much dusty. Now let's connect this cable for the LVDS. Let's connect to the main battery. Let's connect the power supply. It's taking 1.4 amps. And the laptop, I can see the keyboard light. And it's beeping. But the motherboard just turned on. You can see the keyboard backlight. Why is beeping? Do you have a fault RAM? Let's test these RAMs one by one. Maybe the RAM is faulty. It's taking 2 point. Pressing. It's now turning on. It's taking 1.2 amps. Where's the picture? A Dell log. It's working. It's working. Press F1 to continue. Yeah, we have a big Windows 10 log. And it's loading Windows. So that was the problem with this laptop. I don't know what happened to the MOSFET. The MOSFET was blown up and the The first MOSFET is very sensitive. If anything goes wrong with the second MOSFET, it's cutting down the power. Or if we have a shorted many 19 volts power line, that MOSFET is also cutting down the power. Or if you have a fault BQ chip, the MOSFET is not driving 19 volts from drain to source. So we'll stop here because there's a user password, but it's charging. It's taking 1 amp. The battery is charging, but it's kind of this battery is not in a good shape. The cells are swollen inside, so I'm sure the capacity of the battery is no longer having that good capacitance to hold the charge. I'm sure those are some kind of battery. When it gets to 30%, it's shutting down. But the biggest thing is the laptop is working. That's the biggest. The important thing, we now have a working laptop. On the RAM, I'm sure. Okay, let's do the experiment. Let's disconnect here. Let's see if it's the problem with the slot or is the RAM itself. Maybe we have a faulty RAM on. The RAM is working. So let me put back the other one. I just exchange this RAM on. So all the RAMs are fine. I just exchange the RAMs from one slot to the other, and where we still have a picture. So what I would say, like, subscribe, don't forget to turn on the notification bell for future updates. I'll put all together. The owner brings the screws. So the important part is how you can diagnose and fix a dead laptop motherboard. I never fixed this model, but if you have this model, it's not drawing any current, pay attention to the input MOSFETs. In most cases, they are not driving the power. We have to search why the MOSFET is not passing the 19 volts. But I explained these things many times, and I'll keep on repeating. If the first MOSFET is not passing the 19 volts, pay attention to the BQ chip, pay attention to the second MOSFET, pay attention to all the power supplies. Maybe we have a shorted power supply or something's not right there. So see you on the next repair. Bye.